Now, your Storm Alert Team Forecast from meteorologist Brittany Foster.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Labor Day. If you are awake, still maybe working today, you might have to watch out for some patchy fog on that morning commute. Mainly, though, if you plan on traveling northward this morning. That's where we're seeing most of the fog. North Fork, specifically, down to 7 miles for visibility. Other spots maybe even a little bit lower than that the further northward you go. But the good news, if you travel down to the south of I-80 or right along it, visibility is at a perfect 10. So most of us pretty much just fine this morning overall. Clear skies and temperatures are in the 60s, and eventually, as our sunrise time continues to just get pushed back even further. Right now we're at 6:59 this morning, but later this week 7 o'clock in the morning and really the next few days. And while that will help temperatures drop a little bit more potentially overnight as we are getting closer into fall, and that's why it's overall not that bad this morning. We're not seeing the 70s out there. Instead, 63 degrees in Lincoln, warmer for Grand Island though, 67 there as well as in the Hebron area, 61 in Beatrice, 66 in Omaha, and 64 your current temperature in Nebraska City. So it is, of course, Labor Day. Kids are off, and if you plan on grilling outside today, maybe just relaxing overall, it will be a fairly nice day, but overall also on the warmer side and a little bit more sticky compared to the last few days. 11 o'clock, we'll get to the 70s and also the low 80s possibly during that time. Mid 80s by 1 o'clock, and from 3 to 5 o'clock, we'll see high temperatures reaching the low 90s, I think, for most of us today. So we will briefly see the 90s return for this week. Today on your Labor Day, I think we'll hit 91 degrees in Lincoln. Well, some of you might be a little bit more lucky in the upper 80s, but at least we'll still feel like those low 90s thanks to the dew point, that moisture outside, because it has increased just a tad. Today, 5 o'clock, we're in the 60s, 66 degrees, matter of fact, in the Lincoln area. So quite a bit of moisture over the eastern half of the state. But as I let this go through tomorrow, notice how that green in the 60s for dew points disappears. That's because a dry cold front will move through. We will stay rain-free. Instead, this front will give us that drier air behind it. We'll drop down to the 50s for dew point temperatures, so humidity will drop the next few days as well as our actual air temperatures. We'll go from the 90s today down to the low 80s by Wednesday. Still a little bit on the cooler side for Thursday, a little bit closer to average before the mid to upper 80s will eventually return to the forecast as we head into the weekend. So overall, pretty nice forecast for the week if you like the cooler temperatures and not as humid conditions. Unfortunately, if you have been wanting that rain, we will not see it at all for this week. So if you do need to mow the lawn, go ahead and maybe take a break today. Go ahead and do it the next few days when it'll also be on the cooler side and overall dry. And our overnight low temperatures tonight will be back in those mid to upper 60s. But the next few days, we just continue to cool as that front moves through. Overnight lows in the 50s. Great forecast. Maybe give that AC a break. Open up the windows. Saw several people doing that really the last few days. Might have more window weather again in the forecast. Really, as we look at even beyond in the next week, guys. Nice forecast, feeling a little bit more like fall.